Yo! It's Thelbert Talks Toys, and we're back with another Iron Man 2 figure. This is the Mark I suit from the very first Iron Man movie, and it was actually one of my favorite parts of that movie. I know I said that in the last review for Ironmonger, but I absolutely adored the scrap metal suit that Tony Stark made. I think it's really awesome, and it reminds me of something a kid would try to put together in a cave with a box of scraps. But I digress. Let's talk about this figure. If I can get him to stand up, which is something I will talk about later, not now. Like the other one. He is a G.I. Joe scaled figure, which means he's about 3 inches tall, and here he is with Storm Shadow on Storm Shadow's base. He is a fairly small-sized figure, but that doesn't mean he's not a little beefy. You can see, well, if I had a really awesome camera, you could see the amazing amount of detail on this small guy. He's got AF-P 175 written on his breastplate right here from the scraps of metal that Tony Stark had to use. This thing is really, really highly detailed. You can even see they even painted in his motor in the back, and you can see the chains and the gears, but it's all blurry on my camera, so I don't know why I'm showing you this. His head sculpt is pretty good too. It looks like it did in the movie. For the most part, they blacked in the eyes. They didn't leave it like he was looking out, but that would look kind of silly, I think. The paint on here is actually really, really nice. It's a very dark metal gray with a bit of brown in it to make it look like it's dusty. And I don't think you can pick it up on my. You definitely can't pick it up on the camera, but he's got little dents in his helmet. I mean, the detail in here is really impressive, and that is probably the best part of this figure, unfortunately. As far as articulation goes, he's got a lot going on, but it doesn't really do it. It doesn't really go as well as it could. If you watch the Ironmonger review, the joints on this guy are incredibly tight, and almost to the point where I think I might break this arm if I try to put him in a hug me pose. I mean, that is the extent that I can get the elbow joint. I don't know if this is because the joints are this tight, or it's because all the bits of plastic and just how the toy's molded. This guy doesn't have wrist. He doesn't have a wrist joint like the other one did. His shoulder pads they're molded into the ball socket, so they're not a separate piece. Which I think I was a little disappointed in that. And also with his legs. I think these ball joints, I think this one snapped or something, because this one seems they just seem a lot loose, more loose than they should be. This leg, I can barely, use my nerd strength to make him bend his knee. Same thing goes with the ankle. I mean, he's got an ankle joint. He should be able to pivot his foot up and down, but he can't. Again, probably because all the sculpted plastic. But he does have a waist joint, which is nice. And limited neck articulation. He can't go up or down. That said, while that might be a big downfall for this toy, I think it works, and let me explain how I think bad articulation works for this toy. If you remember in the movie when Tony Stark was wearing this thing, and even Robert Downey Jr., he couldn't move. He was basically a brick. And, I mean, this was the Mark I. It wasn't, you know, it's a guy wearing a bunch of metal over a flight suit. And, or coveralls, or whatever he's wearing. He's not built for mobility, and he's not built for speed. He's just there to blow stuff up to AC/DC. And that's really all what this figure should be. You know, he could be really highly posable, but the clunkiness of the character is what I think was so endearing in the movie. But again, he's got problems standing. He's very forward heavy, and it doesn't help that I'm shooting this on a drafting table, which is already at an angle. Luckily, though, he does come with a stand, like all the Iron Man 2 movies, figures do, which, you know, I really love stands for action figures. The G.I. Joe stands are wonderful. I really wish Hasbro would throw in some for the Star Wars figures, because God knows they need it. I would say that this dude needs a stand, if he's going to be on a place that you might, you know, knock him down a couple of times, like on your desk. Kind of like the other movie, they did these launchers, and as far as accessories go, he's got this launcher, and it shoots a missile, and now I'm going to have to go find that. There it is. That wasn't too hard. Yeah, I think these just add more play value to them. I'm not really into the launchers, to be perfectly honest. Like Ironmonger, let me put this on here. Like the Ironmonger figure, he does come with these blueprint power cards, and when you put them together, you can see the suit. Again, I really don't know what these are for. There's no documentation on the packaging that explains what these are for, if they're for another toy, if they're for just for collecting's sake. There's a code on here. I have no idea what that's for. Maybe they just had more room in the budget for this stuff. But with the detailing and the paint apps on this guy, I mean, thanks, I guess. You gave me a really awesomely detailed, highly detailed figure with articulation that's hindered by its design, which, at least to me, makes the character a little more endearing. And you threw in some random crap that I really didn't want, so thanks. But anyways, yeah, so that's the Mark I from Iron Man 2. If you watched my video, thanks, appreciate it, and stick around for the next one, whatever it may be.